What's going on, shipmates? We are back at it in Apex. So I am making this video because I know I just put one out, kind of like an update of how my progress was going and everything, but I kind of figured out the weekly reset for this thing, as far as like the feature SSR plus. So every Friday they have a whole new set of limited echoes, and then the Advent of Stellari. Those are going to be like the two like limited SSR pluses and stuff. So we're going to look at those units in this video. We're going to see what they are, how you can get more summons for those particular banners and stuff like that. Because yeah, and that's really about it. As far as progress wise, I'm just a little bit more farther ahead than I was than the last video a few days ago, so not too much new. I did find, I'll go over this real quick, as you begin to start up and break through your characters, your SSRs, your regular ones, as you're working on your team, so you get them in the summon, stuff like that, star levels where you break through. So the first time, let's go to somebody who's at 1. Here we go. So the first time, when you get them in the summon, it's 60 pieces. For this first 1-star to 2-star, you'll use all 60 to get all the way through to the second star. When you get to the third, it costs 20 for each one. So you're gonna need the character twice. So when you get it the first time, it's gonna be these first 3, and then the second time you pull it again, it'll be these last 3 to get to the 3-star breakthrough. As you can see here, I got Mia once, and then I used some pieces just to get her to the, or I just got her actually, like right before I started this video. I had like 70 summons real quick, and I used that. So she's now here at this point, and then I need her one more time to get another 60 pieces to finish up and get her to 3-star. Now oh, not Precia, she's there. Now from 3 to 4-star, I just got Purgatory again. You guys know that's like my main unit that I'm using, the main stellar. I've gotten her quite a few times, as you can see, and I'm working on getting her to 4-star. So I just got her again. So quick side note, the way I'm getting Mia and Purgatory regularly and consecutively is I have them in the wish list. So I believe it's 100 summons. The first time you get through the 100, you unlock the wish list. I kind of explained it, I believe, in the last, not the last video, but the first one when it went global, kind of the difference, stuff like that, that you can switch it out, and it pretty much resets every day. So if you save up, or you can save up 30 to 40 summons, guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but the way the wish list works is you have a certain chance when you hit the guaranteed SSR summon that one of them will be these wish lists. Pretty average wish list kind of probability, kind of the same as all the other games. If you do their wish list is kind of the same, like there's just a chance. I think this one might be 50-50, like 50% chance of getting one of your wish lists, and then 50 of getting a random another SSR unit. So that's pretty much how I've been getting them so frequently, as I have them here. I haven't you can change it too, like tomorrow when it resets, you can be like, oh, you know, I don't want this character anymore, I want to work on somebody else. You can click it, a menu will pop up, and there'll be a list you can pick from. Now it's only the SSRs, not the SSR pluses. So there's a couple of SSR rares that are in there, because I believe Purgatory and Mia are considered the SSR rares, not plain regular SSR. So I know there's a lot of tiers of SSR in this game, so it's a little confusing. It's basic SSR, SSR rare, which I believe Purgatory is one, so there's a higher one, and then there's SSR plus, which are the red ones. And yeah, so that's that. So that's how I've been working on. But back to this real quick. When you get to the 4-star, when you breaking through from 3 to 4, as you can see here, I have 30 pieces that I need to finish her off and get her to 4, but I need, what is that, another 5, this is 3, 1,500 more purified metals to break through. Now purified metals you use in the regular upgrading and leveling of the units. So as you can see here, I have 2.4k right now, and for me to break through to get her past 100, I need another 1.5. I have to use 1.5. So this is my first time getting this far in level and star level breaking them. So as you can see here, I can keep going, get her to 100, then it'll be another 1.5. So I just saw that, found that out, kind of thought I'd give you guys a heads up as you're playing the game, breaking through, doing stuff like that, that there will be a point where you'll need multiple resources, not just the units, to start breaking through the higher levels. And then, I mean, this is probably going to take a couple days, probably by the end of the weekend, maybe Monday or Tuesday, I'll have the 4,000 to break her through and keep going. And then we'll see what the next one is to get her to 5-star, what it's going to cost. So that's it for that. So okay, that was quick little thing. As far as event wise, not much going on. They do have this gem flip going on, so as you do certain dailies in the game, you can claim coins, and then also you can spend some diamonds, right? The diamonds is what they're called, to get some more coins. And then over here, the gem flip, you pretty much just pick which you want, and then over here is it gonna, oh, it's not gonna pull it up. Oh, is this it? Yeah, this is it. Here we go. Matching these units in a row or a diagonal, kind of like tic-tac-toe in a sense. These are the rewards you get. Obviously, we want the highest one, which is 5 summon tickets for the Twilight Echo, which is one of the I believe it's the limited Echo SSR plus summon. So you could do it however. I just do flip all and see what we get. So we got that. We got 2 tickets. Oh, 100. Hey, cool. And then once you get them all, then you just hit refresh and it'll do it again, and then you just keep going. So that's that. And then of course there is, where did I see it? I think it's under perks. Irene's gift is the weekend free stuff. You get some free summons and 100 diamonds. So every day come in and claim that as well. All right. Ooh, excuse me. That's about it for that. Let's look at the summons. So this one here, this is the limited stellar. Oh, 200. Okay, I'm keeping track of it now. So Celicia and Vanessa, these are still here. They're here for another day. So it looks like, what is this? So every Sunday these will reset, or maybe Monday. Let me look at that, because it's 11 hours and then it'll be another, yeah, my fault, Monday, not Sunday. Monday it'll reset and it'll be another 2 units that'll be featured for this one right here. So let's take a quick look at these. This is the shorter. So Monday, Friday, gotcha. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at Celicia. She is combo HF, I'm guessing is healing factor combo, single burst DPS. Let's take a look. All right, so we got Dawn Strike. After performing a basic attack, there's a 50% chance of triggering this skill, dealing damage equal to 100% of the attack to the enemy unit with the lowest HP percentage. Okay, so she's targeting lowest HP units. Applying 1 stack of Fragile. Fragile is increasing damage taken by 3.5%. Not bad. Stacking up to 3 times. Stack with the ability to stack up 3 times. At full stacks, the target takes 20% additional damage permanently. Wow, that's crazy. So once you hit full stack, you get the 3 times 3.5, which is what, 11%, and then another 20% permanently for the rest, I guess, for the match. This skill can be triggered twice per basic attack. That's cool. So not bad for regular. Those are the buffs she's giving as her passive. Let's see the 3rd skill, passive combo. After performing a basic attack, 60% chance of triggering this skill. Cool. Dealing physical damage equal to 120% of attack to the enemy unit with the lowest HP. So lowest HP target again. If the target's HP is below 50%, increases the damage multiplier to 150%. Wow. Okay. So percentage of a time. So you're kind of taking some chances there when it comes to the attacking and the additional damage. All right, let's look at the last one, the passive regular. Flawless instant. Each time a combo skill is triggered, which are the other ones there, the previous ones we looked at, permanently increases damage by 6%. Wow. Stackable up to 5 times, which is a total of 30% increased damage. Basic attack prioritizes the enemy unit with the lowest HP percentage. Wow. So it's a lot. Okay, so she's definitely doing single burst. She's definitely doing like a lot of buffs for herself to increase her damage here. Not bad. Decent single DPS. Me personally, I like AoE a lot better. Not bad. So lowest HP target, so it's taking out the units that are getting hit the most. Some of your other team, if they're doing AoE or if they're targeting other ones, she kind of helps pretty much finish them off as quick as possible. So not bad. Let's take a look at Vanessa. Oh, and then I'll do this. Top total combat power, I guess at level 260 is 107. That does not include gear and anything else you add to them. So that's just base max level. All right, so Vanessa, we got control, fear, reset skill, and switch. All right, so 111 combat power basic. Crazy. Let's take a look. Judgment of the End. Deals physical damage equal to 150% of the caster's attack to a single enemy and 2 adjacent units behind them. All right, so a bit of an AoE. There is 75% chance to inflict fear, and fear is damage reduced by 10%, speed reduced by 10%, lasting 3 turns. Cool. So slight debuff to whoever she hits, the 3 that she hits, and 100% chance to inflict silence. Oh, so there, quite a few units have this silence. What is it called? Trait or little effect. So what is I've seen it before. Control, unable to cast active skills for 1 turn. Wow. So pretty much they're stunned, I guess, in a sense. Yeah, active skills. Interesting. All right, so they're pretty much stunned for 1 turn. On the target with the highest attack. Awesome. That's a good target. That's a good little effect there. No, this is an AoE skill, but prioritizes enemies with mark. Mark, only 1 unit per team can be marked. There are other units that give mark. She might herself give mark on her other skills as well. It's just kind of like, if she has it, we'll take a look at it. I know it does some little bit of debuffs to people. So this is her passive boost, 50%, 40% damage bonus. Cool. All right, so Supreme Posture. Physical damage, 140% of attack to 2 random enemies, a little bit AoE. Afterwards, there is a 60% chance of resetting the cooldown of this skill. All right, so that's cool. When attacking an enemy afflicted with debuffs, which we just saw in her first skill, there is a 100% chance of resetting the cooldown. So pretty much she attacks 2 random people on the opposite team. 60% chance that after hitting those people, the skill resets and she hits again. If they have a debuff, which here, this first one, these both fear and silence are both debuffs. So pretty much 60% chance the first round she hits. Second round, where if she does hit those people with a debuff, 100% chance of doing a second strike. That's cool. That's not bad. I like that. All right, at the start of the battle, let's look at her last one. If the caster is in the back row, okay, so if she's in the back row, gains 25% attack, 50% ACC, 15% damage bonus. I believe that's accuracy, and 15% HP steal. Dope. If the caster is in the front row, gains 20% damage reduction and 25% HP. 25% HP steal. That's a lot. Huh. So depending on the team you have, if you already have a pretty decent DPS, I have a pretty decent DPS team right now, both AoE and a little bit of singular. I would probably put her in the front because she's going to reduce the damage reduction and she's getting 25% HP steal. So yeah, I would probably, if I were to chase after her and get her, I would put her in the front row. All right, so that's her. 111 basic combat power. Me personally, out of the 2, I would choose Vanessa. Once again, these are the SSR pluses. they require these red tickets here up top. As you can see, if you played the game, you can see that there's different little areas around the game that you can get them as rewards. Now, like I said, they do switch. They're up for about a week. Doing this video, so it's kind of toward the end of the week already. It's Saturday, so Monday, like I said, they reset. So now this is another thing too that they put up here for you to watch out for. No guarantee carryover. The progress resets at event end. So if you see here, I have 34 tickets. Let's say today, tomorrow, I can get up to like 40 something, like another 10, or let's just say 11, 45. She is guaranteed at 50. Now, I use all 45. I don't get her. I have 5 left to get her. So I say, you know what? I'll get some more. Monday's the reset. You know, I lost my chance of getting her. I can't get any more today. I'm already 5 ahead. I'll save up and get the next one. That's not going to happen. Pretty much those 45 that I used, it'll reset and go back to 50 when the new reset of these featured units happens. So just a heads up, if you are safe like me, if I can get 50 today, tomorrow, then I'll probably get Vanessa. If not, if I get 40 something, then I'm just gonna save it and see who gets featured next week. Hopefully it's I do know the double sorted Stellar. She has like 2, like a fire red, blue fire swords. She is super cool looking, and I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, she's the strongest in the game. I'm not 100% sure. I just remember like all the high people, whales using her. So like I said, and then of course, quick side note down here at the Echo store, the other one has it, but if you got the money, you can spend it here to get some more summon tickets. The sign-in fund is pretty cool. It resets, as you said, if you sign in every day, you get 5 tickets here. If you pay to tap the bottom, you get 5, 10, 15, 20, you get about 35 tickets. So not a bad little long end sign-in fund. So like I said, tomorrow logging in, I'll get another 3. That'll put me at 37. Maybe I'll get a few more around the game, maybe get to 40. And if that's the case, then I'll probably just save it and see who the next one is. Now, moving to the limited Echo. Now this is the one that has the 4 featured units or stellars. So the sign in there. This one, where'd it go? I think I used it already. Yeah, I put it in my last. No, I don't think I did in my last video. I want to say it's this one, this Echo store. There is a spot where you can spend some of your diamonds. It's 3,000 and you get 10 tickets. You know what? I did. It's this one. It is this one because I used it to get Parisia. And it's only 2. You can only get 2 sets of 10, so it's 6,000 diamonds and you'll get 20 tickets. I don't see it here. Maybe because I spent it, it might have gone away. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check on that. Anyway, let's move and check. So this one does reset every Friday. As you can see here, it's got 5 days, including the 10 hours left in today. So every Friday, this limited Echo banner resets. So let's take a look at these units. So we got Athena, Alice, Tina, and Veronica. All right, so let's start with Athena, Goddess of War. All right, let's see what she's got. Mark, as I mentioned before, crit amplifier and self-recovery. It's looking super dope. I love the kind of like, oh, what is that? What is it called? Oh man, like old-timey stuff with mech, with like machines, steampunk. Kind of like a steampunk look going on, because obviously she's like goddess, ancient mythology, but her tech, her weapons are like kind of like high-tech looking. So pretty cool, pretty dope. All right, let's take a look at the skills. Moving on. All right, first one, critical flare, gains an indispensable mark, and solar flare level 3 for 2 turns. Pretty simple, pretty basic. What does mark do? Special. This is a special status, not considered a buff or debuff. Single target attack prioritizes the target with mark. Only one mark can exist on each side. As I explained earlier, the mark applied by allies cannot be replaced by the enemies and cannot be dispelled or purified, lasting for 2 turns. Okay. Cool. Alright, so it didn't really explain that they're just marked. And it's a special, it's not a buff or debuff, they're just prioritized for attacking. Okay, so Solar Flare. Increases damage reduction by 15%. When taking single target damage, restores 6% of max HP. This effect can be triggered up to 8 times during 2 actions. That's crazy. 8 times 6, that's a lot of HP. 50%. Okay, interesting. That must be the self-recovery part, and obviously the mark. Let's look at her passive buff. So 40% attack, 50% HP, damage reduction 15. Not bad. Skill 3, Daybreak Sunfire. Deals physical damage equal to 85% of attack, kind of low, to all enemies. Okay, so super AoE. And applies crit vulnerability level 3 to targets for 2 turns. And that crit level 3 increases crit damage taken by 30% with a max of 6. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's take a little last skill. I'll do a little explaining toward the end. Everlasting Torch. At the beginning of the battle, gain 3 stacks of silence block. At the start of each turn, Athena gains 2 stacks of Torch level 3, and Torch is special status not considered buff or debuff. Okay, so just like Mark, cannot be purified. After completing the action, consumes all stacks and restores HP equal to 3.5% of max HP for each stack consumed last year. So pretty much, she uses this skill, uses up all the stacks, and times that by 3.5%, and she restores health. Oops, let me finish. When an ally stellar deals a crit with an active attack, Athena gets 1 stack of Torch level 3, triggering for 3 times maximum per turn. Okay, so pretty much big unit skills on self recovery for sure. So she has a very high chance of being the last unit standing. Interesting buffs. Interesting. Not. I mean, it's good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks like she's. What's her health at? 215. Combat power 101. Okay. You could probably definitely buff her up more, even more HP wise. If you were to go after this unit, that's what I would recommend. Kind of make her a little more tanky, just because she's going to be getting all these buffs, and she's going to be getting more and more HP heal throughout the fight. And if you have any other units that do crit, like some of the Ignite units, she would work well with them, because here, as you can see here, when a stellar deals crit with an active attack, she gets more torch apply, which is just more stacks for HP recovery. So interesting. Not bad. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Alice looks like she's going to be a healer, AoE nerf. That's interesting. Let's take a look. Combat power is 90,000. Okay. A little less, because she is a healer. So let's take a look. Grants all allies indispensable healing over time, equal to 10% of Alice's max HP for 2 turns. Applies poison and 2. What word is that? Variegation to all enemies. Okay, so poison reduces attack by 1.5% and deals damage equal to 20% of the inflictor's attack after completing action. Also ignoring armor. That's dope. Okay. And then variegation applies one of the following debuffs to the target for 2 turns. Either 5% attack decrease, 5% defense decrease, 5% accuracy decrease, or 5% Evasion decrease. Okay, so not bad. So hitting the enemy units with a little poison. Mitigation is just kind of another style of poison, not doing damage but decreasing that unit's stats. So 2 different types of poisons, one for actual damage and one for buff, or pretty much debuffs. Not bad. And then healing over time is great. All right, this is our passive. Nice. And then, or I'm sorry, the buffs passive. All right, skill 3, active heal. Heals the 2 ally units with the lowest HP. Pretty standard. 17.5% of her max HP. Cool. Then applies enchanted, which is when receiving an active attack, there's a 25% chance to apply lure or deceleration to the target for 3 turns. Interesting. To the ally unit with the highest armor. Cool. So healing. Healer, main focus healing. Alright, and then last skill. Enemy unit has 2 debuffs with the caster present. Enemy unit deals 20% less final AoE damage. If any ally unit is affected by ignite, the aforementioned enemy unit's final AoE damage will decrease by 30%. Interesting. So if you have units that have ignite, which I have 2, this healer will work pretty great with them because she's working off that ignite anyway. So if you have a healer or if you're looking for one, she's not bad. All right, let's look at Tina. Oh, another ignite. All right, let's take a quick look. This one is 106 combat power. Deals energy damage equal to 80% of attack to all enemy units. Not bad. Big 80% AoE. If the target is afflicted with ignite, dispels 3 of their bonuses. Afterwards, there is a 70% chance of applying ignite to each target. Wow. So she's just helping ignite everybody. 50% attack, 40% HP, 15% damage reduction. Not bad. Blazing Outburst deals enemy energy damage, 100% of attack to all enemies. Big AoE. All right, so she's hitting everybody. For each stack of energize self has, for each stack that she has, increases the damage multiplier 1.5%. Cool. When the skill is cast at max stats, the damage receives a 50% damage bonus. Alright, after casting this skill, all energized stacks are consumed. This skill cannot crit. Oh, well, yeah, because that's a lot. 150 times. Increases damage of blazing outburst. That's crazy. Does it say? I thought about this one. So this one does not give her energy. I thought it did. Oh, is it the last one? Let's take a look here. Yep. So this last skill is what gives her the energize. After casting an active skill for each enemy target inflicted with ignite, which by this time could be everybody, because her third skill is both AoE and 70% chance of inflicting ignite on everybody. Gains 1 stack. So for each one, so she could get 6 stacks pretty much of energize right here for self. For each enemy target inflicted with scorch, gains 4 stacks of energize. Wow. For self, and for each enemy unit that leaves the battlefield, so who gets knocked out, gains additional 10 stacks of energize. All right, the max stacks that can be gained every single time is 50. Yeah. Heavy DPS unit for sure. 22,000 is this max attack. Yeah, for sure. That's interesting. Yeah, if you have ignite units, if you have other units that are the fire kind of faction here, definitely grab her, because she's gonna work off all that ignite and scorch and torch. Just give it. I mean, if you're getting 50 stacks per turn when everything's maxed out, that's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage that she's doing. So Tina, pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I might go after her. I might save up and go after her just because I'm working with the ignite right now. All right, last but not least, Veronica with the Holy Shields. Dope. Let's take a look. She looks like she's a tank. Combo Mark shield damage boost. Interesting. 100,000 is her top combat power. A basic 14,000 attack, which is, as you can tell, significantly less than Tina. 211,000 HP, way more. Alright, so let's take a quick look. Glorious Devotation. After basic attack applies a mark, of course we already know what that is, and Transcendence level 3 to the ally unit with the highest armor, which might be herself. And with an alright, so Transcendence is a buff. When an ally, excluding the cast, okay, so not her, performs a basic attack, grants a shield equal to 4% of max HP for 2 turns. This effect can be triggered up to 2 times per turn. Wow. Shields. We love shields. I love shields. I'm liking it. This one, 50% HP, 40% attack, damage reduction 50%. That's pretty good. Benevolence of the Lord. After a basic attack, there is a 50% chance to apply a shield equal to 50% of Veronica's max HP to the 3 ally units with the lowest HP for 2 turns. That's great. That's a really good skill. I like that a lot, just because shields are random most of the time, as most of the other skills for units, and it could be that they go to somebody that doesn't really need it. So the fact that it's going to be 3 ally units with the lowest HP, so the ones who are getting hit the most, the ones that are in front, or the ones who just don't have a lot of HP, like in the back, and maybe you have the enemy team has some units that are backline attacking, they're getting shields. 50% of Veronica's max HP, which, I mean, she's at 211 up here at max. That's quite a bit. I like it. All right, last skill, the Adjudicator. Adjudicate. I'm going to speak to the manager. All right. Before taking an action, applies combo final vulnerability level 2. That is, increases final combo damage taken by 10%. All right. To all enemies, everybody's getting it. If enemies are affected by mark that are inflicted by others, upgrades combo final vulnerability to level 5 and applies shield decrease to level 4 to enemies afflicted with mark. Otherwise, apply mark to the enemy unit with the highest attack. 35% at level 4. Interesting. So, last attack, she's decreasing she's decreasing enemies' final damage, which is the damage that can be done to knock you out. And then if they do have shields, if they do have Veronica or somebody else that's similar, giving shields out like candy, they're gonna do shield. They're gonna get hit with shield decrease level 4, which is 35% shield reduction. If you're looking for a good tank, this is one for sure. For sure. I'm liking this. I mean, she's getting shields to people, to enemy, or to allies who are attacking, basically. And then HP, and then 50% shield to 3 ally units with the lowest HP. And then she's gonna give the last skill is pretty much for the enemy team and just reducing their shields and just kind of reducing their damage as well. Man, I don't know. Veronica and Tina, 1 and 2. All right, so same kind of deal. Guarantees don't carry over. So if you're gonna go after somebody, make sure you save up and do it. So every Friday, these 4 reset. So they just reset it yesterday, so they got until Friday. Other than that, that's it. I'm gonna save up. I'm not gonna do any summons this time. I need to save up, and I gotta make a decision who I want, Veronica or Tina. Do I want the heavy damage DPS igniting, or do I want this shield queen? All right, that's about it. This video went on way too long. A lot of units to cover, though. I will say 6 resetting is quite a bit compared to like maybe 3 or 4 other games do. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for checking in. thanks for subscribing for sure. I'm slowly but surely working my way up. Twitch is happening soon. I'm going to be crossing over. Still trying to decide whether to do Xbox and be doing some Call of Duty, of course. You guys can see how much I suck at that. And then I am thinking about actually doing Twitch for mobiles. I didn't know. Yeah, I do know you can do that. There's a way to set it up, and I can pretty much like log in, show you guys live my daily routine, see how far I can level up. Because I got quite a bit of what is it called? Experience and like resources saved up. I'm at 4.2 mil. Well, obviously, I'm saving that because I want to finish up starring up Purgatory. But other than that, folks, that's it. Appreciate you watching. Fair winds and fall, and we see you in Shipmates. Have a good weekend.